unmute middle of the class. Okay. If any question has been asked to you, raise your hand first. Then I will let you answer. Okay. Do not create unnecessary nuisance in the workshop. Okay. You have already agreed to the rules and regulation before you entered in the session, and any such behavior would not be entertained by bid class or by me. Okay. All right. Moving ahead. Okay. So, Satya, I can see your hand raised. Do you have any question? All right. Now, just guys, again, keep yourself on mute, everyone. Yes, Vasundhara. Okay, so guys, all these questions will be answered. Don't worry, I'm sure you guys have come up with a lot of questions. Okay, hold your horses for a while because I have a lot to share with you, and most likely all your question will be answered by then. Okay, so now since we have joined the session, how to be a part of aviation, especially as a flight attendant, my first question from you people is, what do you mean by flight attendant? What do you mean by cabin crew? Or who are cabin crews? Okay, I got a participant. Okay, two. Okay, we'll start with Khushi. Yes, Khushi.
Yes, ma'am. A cabin crew is someone who makes sure that she serves her best to save all the passengers from any emergency and gives her best in service and hospitality.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Rightly said. Anyone else? Change of thoughts, different ideas, please feel free. Natasha?
Hello, Neha. A cabin crew is basically a person who serves her best on flight on board, and she basically takes care of every need of a passenger, and she has to take care of every situation, if it's emergency, if it's a normal kind of situation, if a passenger needs anything, and she also
Sunil. Guys, others, please go on mute because it creates a disturbance. We cannot focus on one thing. Right, ma'am?
Right.
Guys, it's a humble request to each and everyone. Please go on mute. If ma'am asks, then only unmute yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anushka. Okay, so Natasha was talking, I guess. Natasha, are you done?
Yeah, so I was just saying that she is responsible for the passengers. That's what I like to conclude with. Thank you.
And he as well. So, of course, men can also pursue this as a career. All right, great. Poonam, do you have any difference in opinion or something like that? Poonam, are you there? How about Ankita? Okay. Henna?
Yes, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Cabin crews take care of passengers, hundreds of passengers, not only in ground but also in air, like 35,000 feet above in the air. They take care of passengers, and whatever happened with the passengers, they all take care. Passengers are responsible for everyone's health and everything.
Okay, rightly said, Hina. So everybody, bang on, you have given the right answer, right? So cabin crew are a group of people very important for the operation of the flight. Okay, because what we do is we take care of passengers' safety. Okay, we take care of them in emergency. We take care of them medically. Okay, and simultaneously providing them 5-star customer service on board. Okay, so service is a part of our job, but it is secondary. What is the primary part of the job is the safety. Okay, very, very important. The primary duty of a cabin crew is to provide safe environment on board to all customers. All right, that is why I'm sure a lot of people are not aware of this fact. That is why we don't call this job as air hostess anymore. All right, we call this profession as flight attendants or cabin crew. Okay, because back then, like a lot of years earlier, when the airline industry got started, and when they hired air hostess, the perspective was just for them to be there to serve people. That was the idea. Okay, but now with time, rules have changed, and they started training air hostesses with different, on different parameters like safety, medical, emergency, crash landings, water landing, everything. All right, so this is not right to call a person who is doing all these things as a host. Okay, so we are just not a hostess anymore. We don't call this profession as air hostess anymore. We call this profession as cabin crew or flight attendants. Okay, so from now onwards, you also rectify people around you if you hear anyone calling you like that. All right, now again, now one more question from my side, and I really like this question because I like to hear the answers from people. So perks of being a cabin crew, there are a lot of perks, a lot of benefits, right, of being a cabin crew. I just want to know one which attracted you the most. If you ask me, traveling was one of the perks attracted me the most 8 years back when I decided to join the industry as a cabin crew. All right, so now I would like to know from you. So we'll start with Poonam. I don't know if Poonam is there or not. I'll jump to Natasha.
I had the same point, getting paid for traveling the whole world. Basically, that's what fascinates me the most.
Great. Ritika? Khushi?
Yes, the thing that excites me about being a cabin crew is I just want to serve the field of aviation. And also, it is I want to become a pilot someday in my life. I cannot now for some personal reasons, but I want to become someday. So this would be a step forward in that direction.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, who is it?
Ma'am, Vanshika.
Yes, Vanshika, go ahead.
Ma'am, first of all, traveling is like common one. Everyone wants to travel.
I'm
And
sure, yes.
ma'am, obviously, actually this work is kind of the good one. Like everyone in my surrounding, I have seen people making this job as so down and commenting on wrong comments like they all used to pass. I want to prove them like it's not such a useless job. It's just like a good job like everyone else do. And people make it like represent it as a serving job, whereas it is not a serving job. We are also
Anymore.
doing our job. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what that's why I'm attracted to this one.
Wonderful. Okay, anyone else?
Ma'am, can I speak?
Can I?
Who is it first?
Muskan. Muskan Gupta.
Muskan.
First of all, good morning, ma'am. Sorry, good evening, ma'am.
Good
I'm
evening.
so nervous.
Don't be.
I really love the job of aviation cabin crew. And 9th of Feb, I have an interview
With
in
which?
Lucknow.
Okay, with Indigo.
Indigo, yeah, Indigo. And I'm super excited. I really love the job of in cabin crew. Like I love being on the flight at any time. there is no time or 9 to 5 or anything. Like you can attend any flight at any time. This is the most best thing I have for me. And of course, traveling. I will travel all over the world.
Great. Great. Wonderful, guys. So now you can see
Ma'am, may I?
who is it?
Ma'am, Sheetal here.
Okay, Sheetal, yes, go ahead.
Hi.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
So I like about this job that we can make friendship all over the world. I like to interact with others, and the most important thing to me is that I explore different things in this job.
Okay.
What happened, ma'am? I can't hear you properly.
Few of you are on unmute. That's why she cannot hear me properly.
Okay.
So please mute yourself. Or so Sheetal, you are done with the answer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So Anushka, you can actually enable that option that they cannot unmute themselves.
Yes, sure, ma'am. You can continue, ma'am.
Thank you. So yes, you guys have come up with a lot of perks of being a cabin crew, and those are actually true. All right. And I just want an answer in the chat box now that you see a set of cabin crew over here, beautiful ladies, right? Can anyone tell me which airline they belong to? In the chat box. इंडिगो किसने बोला यार? Come on, we're not Indigo cabin crew at least. We're not Vistara, but okay. So people who said Emirates, they are right. Okay, so this set of cabin crew belong to Emirates, right? So now, as a lot of people you have mentioned about the perks. First is you travel the world and you are getting paid to do the same. That is true. Right, amazing salary. Nobody mentioned about it, but yes, you'll get amazing salary, especially when you join any airline internationally. All right. Even in India, if I compare it with the different other jobs, right, with the same level of expertise and experience, or maybe fresher, if you compare the job in Indian market, you get pretty amazing salary, right? Domestic or Indian airlines, right? Now, easier promotion. So when I say easier promotion, I'm comparing this job with different other corporate jobs, okay, wherein you just need to maintain your file, okay, and then you will become eligible to get promoted to the next level, which is the business class, then the next level, which is the supervisor, right, and so on and so forth. Staff travel, amazing benefit. So when you become a part of the airline, either as a ground staff or cabin crew or travel advisor, you get this opportunity to travel on rebated tickets. So whenever you whenever you plan to travel on your days off, okay, you can book tickets directly with your airline, and sometimes you just need to pay the taxes and they waive off the entire fare. Friends from all culture, someone mentioned about, I think Rashida mentioned about friends from all culture, that you get to know a lot of people since you'll be working with multiple nationalities. If international, if Indian, then you will be meeting a lot of people every day, different customers, right? Now, access to 5-star hotels and restaurants in India or abroad, wherever you work, whenever you will go for your duty, right? You will be staying for 24 hours or 48 hours in different state or country, right? For example, you're going from Delhi to New York, right? It's 16 hours flight. There is no way you can take a flight back right away, right? You have to rest, right? So if you get a break of 24, 36, 48 hours over there, your airline will always make you stay in a 5-star property. And this is how you get access to a lot of 5-star hotel brands and all, right? Now, all these amazing perks come with a little bit of, I should not say negative part, because again, it can be a positive thing for most of us, which is irregular working hours, irregular schedule. people who do not want to work for 9 to 5 in front of a system dealing with computers, right? So you of course gonna work in irregular hours, irregular schedule, but I think it is all worth it, right? So any questions, anyone? Okay, I think I'll ask this question by the end of the session. That would be really great. Okay, now we'll talk about the eligibility criteria, because I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions about the eligibility criteria, if you are even eligible to be a part of the journey or not. Okay, so I will highlight a lot of things, but always understand whenever you're applying for any job, guys, make sure that you check the key requirements before you apply for it. All right, Shweta, I will come on to this. I have this question in my mind, which I'm going to answer, because I get this question every time I do a workshop with bed class. We'll come on to that. Let us speak about the eligibility criteria. Okay, just give me a moment. Right. All right. So, how to become a cabin crew in airlines? Now we're going to speak about a little bit of requirements, mandatory requirements, prerequisites, and essentials. Okay, as I told you in the beginning of the session, that English is a very it's mandatory thing to crack the interview, right? So it is one of them. Now we'll speak about all of them, right? So we'll first talk about prerequisites. Should be 18 years plus for domestic airlines and 21 years plus for international. So I heard someone saying when I was there observing you people in the beginning of the session, someone said that she's 17 and without wasting any further year of her life, she wants to try, which is very good, because I had the same level of energy when I was 17, right? And see, there is no harm. You can apply for airline for the vacancy when you are 18 or 18 years plus, but there are certain international airline who ask you to be 21 years plus. But are they all of them? No, just a few. Okay, if I talk about British Airways, they don't want you to be 21 years plus to be eligible for the job. They are hiring if you're 18 years plus. So it is very important that you always check the key requirements before you apply. If I talk about Qatar, Emirates, Gulf, Etihad, for them, you need to be 21 years or plus. Okay. Now, aspirants should have passed 10+2 from a government recognized board or university. So now, the minimum eligibility eligible qualification that they're asking for is just 10+2. So just 10+2 what they're asking for. Why? Because the kind of training or study that they want you to do is something that is going to be provided to you by them only. Okay, so you're going to go through 3 months of rigorous training wherein you have to study, you have to perform, then only you will be eligible to fly as a cabin crew. You'll get a license from them. We call it competency card. Okay, so you need to clear examinations, you need to clear assessments before you get that license or certificate. Okay, that's why the minimum qualification is 10+2, but you should continue doing your graduation, or you should do it for yourself only. All right. Now, height criteria, very important and may vary from airline to airline. Because if I talk about few Indian airlines, they take people who are 155 centimeters plus or 157 centimeters plus. Always check. Different airlines, they have different requirements, right? For domestic, most of the times 160 centimeters plus. Okay. But again, exceptions are there. Few days back when I saw British Airways was hiring and I checked their key requirements, the minimum height that they were asking for was 5'2", which is lesser than 160 centimeter. 160 centimeter. I think it's just 156 or 157 centimeters. Right? So you always need to pay attention to the key requirements before you apply for any vacancy. Essentials: must be able to read, write, speak in English and Hindi for Indian Airlines. Okay, so English is compulsory for all the international airlines, but Hindi is also compulsory for Indian Airlines, Hindi and English both. All right. If you know any other language apart from English, international language, go ahead, add it in your resume, add it in your introduction. Okay. Is it mandatory? It is not, but it is a plus point. Okay. English skills are, all airlines require fluency in English. You must have a good level of English to be able to pass the interview. Your interview will be in one language only, which is English. Okay. Indian Airlines may ask you to speak in Hindi for one question or two. That's all. Right. But for international, it is all going to be in English. English skills are an important part of your training. Your entire training will be in English only. Okay. In addition to that, most important thing, no tattoos in sight. So guys, you are going to be a part of highly professional industry. Okay. They don't want you to have tattoos. Okay. Some of the airlines, they give you leverage to have a tattoo, but should not be visible when you are wearing a uniform, their uniform. Okay, but few airlines like Emirates, Qatar, for them having a tattoo is a big no. Okay. Good health, you will need to go through medical test. So even if you pass all the assessments in your interview, all the rounds, the last round is going to be the medical round, and you need to pass that as well. Okay, very basic test that they want you to go through. Still, you need to take care of yourself. Please maintain a healthy lifestyle. Okay, very important for this job. Okay. Now, some qualities a cabin crew should possess: positive attitude, patience, assertiveness, professionalism, empathy, customer service skills, eagerness to learn, active listening. Okay, so now you can read these 8 points, 8 words over here. Okay, but nobody is going to ask a direct question from you, especially a recruiter, that what qualities should a cabin crew possess. You know, they're gonna observe these qualities in you in an interview. How? By giving you hypothetical situation, by giving you a role play, by group discussion. Right? Very important that we portray these qualities in us in an interview. Okay, so you can read it out. We have a whole elaborated version of this slide in the advanced course, wherein we are practicing how can we, frame our answers or portray these qualities in us. Okay. Again, tips to help you pass the interview. Practice. The more you use a language, the better you become at it. Right? If you are lacking behind anywhere, right, you just need to practice. Strive to become better. Any one of you who have given interview in the past and maybe didn't get selected at that point of time, don't worry. It doesn't mean that you will stop trying. We will just strive to become better for the next one. Right? Research, I have been telling you to check the key requirements, to check the job description. Very important. Guys, most of the people, they don't know. Candidates who are going for the interview. But most of your answers in your interview should be from the job description only. Okay, I'll tell you how. All right. It is a part of advanced course because we are practicing how to perform in an interview by conducting mock interviews with my students one-on-one. right? Read instructions carefully. Whenever you get an invitation from any airline for the interview day, please read the instruction carefully, follow those. Before that, before you apply for any vacancy, check for the key requirements every time. I'm emphasizing on that a lot because, we check the vacancy, we get excited, we apply for it, and at the end, we get to know that our height criteria is not matching. Our height is not matching with the criteria. Our age is not matching with the criteria. Right? So very, very important. Keep it simple. Keep your answers simple. Do not stretch or elaborate or repeat statements in your answers ever. Okay, your recruiter, they already have set of questions set for you. Okay, don't give them more questions to ask. Okay, so we're going to talk about that again in the advanced course, that how we can keep our answers simple, where to stop, because this is what we naturally forget. Right? Focus on the questions asked. Listen to the recruiter very, very carefully. Okay, plan your answers. Plan your answers ahead of time, as in, let's say tomorrow is your interview, right? Plan your answers today itself. How? I'm not asking you to by heart any content, because when you by heart it, you forget it, especially when you are, reading that out to someone else, which is in your memory. Right? Plan your answer in a way that if recruiter asks this question to me, I'm going to answer like that. I'm going to talk about this experience of mine. I'm going to tell about the college experience of mine. Okay, this is the way to plan the answers ahead of time. Okay. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. So I'm sure a lot of you really want to get started with this job, with interview and stuff. So now this is the time. All right, let's crank it up a notch, because it is the time to go a bit higher level. Okay. Now, again, any questions? Anyone? Please feel free to shoot. And Anushka, you can, let them unmute themselves, but not all of you together, one by one. Let's begin the travel adventure. Okay. So, any questions? Anyone, please do raise your hand first, and then, okay, Mitali, I can see your hand. Okay. Yes, Mitali, go ahead.
Ma'am, actually, I want to ask about that whether you will also give information to how to make resume.
Yes, it is actually a part of the advanced course, wherein resume and cover writing are the part of the course itself. Okay, but just a tip for all of you, that guys, maybe you think that this particular experience of yours is not relevant for the job. Do not think like that. Please feel free to share as much as information you want, you think is helping you to, like it, you don't know what kind of personality you're gonna show over there with that particular experience or particular education. Okay, still, if you want to know like what you should add, we have the entire session of resume writing in the advanced course, because understand, your questions will be from your resume.
Okay,
right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Writing about your skills, your strength, it's just not limited to writing in resume. You should know, if they're gonna ask any question about this particular strength, how I'm going to support my answer.
Okay.
Very important.
Thank
you. Okay. Guys, I think you guys have been putting it on the chat box, which is very difficult for me to go through all the chat box one by one. All the chats one by one.
Hello. One small question, please. Hello, am I audible?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Guys, 1 second, guys. Go one by one. Ma'am will be addressing each one of you, so do not worry, guys. Yes.
So Shweta का question था पहले का. Let me answer that, guys. There is no such training required for you to be part of the job from anywhere else. Since I have already told you in the presentation, what is the minimum qualification they're asking for is 10 plus 2, right? Now, they particularly don't want you to get the trainings of cabin crew from any institute. Why? Because these trainings are very crucial, very important. Okay, they want to give you this knowledge as per their protocols, their SOPs, we call standard operating procedures, which any institute would not be able to give you. Okay, so what they do, they prefer freshers. You know why? Because it is very not easy, but it is still easy to grab, for a fresher to grab a new information, rather than a person who already have a lot of knowledge about it but irrelevant. Okay, so the point is, there is no you don't need to have any training from any institute, spending a lot of money and waste your time. Okay, wherein you can just prepare for the interview, go for the interview, crack it, and get the same training and start getting paid from the first day itself, rather than paying lack of amount to an institute. You will start earning money from the training itself.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Second. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
So guys, please, again, I'm requesting you to raise your hand. I can see Vasundhara and Natasha is already have their hand raised. So let me ask them first. Vasundhara, do you have a question?
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, Vasundhara.
Ma'am, I want to know about what is the seat criteria, and I have some scars on my face. So can I go for the interview?
Which criteria you asked? I did not get the word.
Seat criteria, ma'am. Seat criteria.
So see, the criteria we have already spoken about. Now let's talk about grooming, right? Because if you have marks, scars, pimples on your face, you can go for the interview. You can apply for it. Okay, but one thing which is required is makeup. You need to hide. You should be able to hide it with the help of makeup. All right. So make sure you use concealer, foundation, whatever it takes to, scars hidden, right? And then you go for the interview. They may ask you to come without makeup. I have seen that in a lot of invitation wherein they ask you not to put any makeup on the face. But in this case, in that case, they ask you to do makeup, at the interview premises. Vasundhara, do you have any other question? Okay, Natasha.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm asking to Natasha.
Am I
Natasha, do you have
audible?
any question?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Natasha, go ahead.
Ma'am, unfortunately, I have a tattoo on my hand, which is quite visible even after wearing a uniform. And I am still 19 years old, but I want to apply it in Emirates itself. So I'm just waiting for this 1 year, 2 years to, get over with. But I am planning to remove the tattoo very soon. But I know that there may be some light amount of scars in it. And I read this on the Emirates official website itself that tattoos are not allowed. Yeah, but scars should be hidden well. Yes, but if they find out after the hiring process is done, they might even, discontinue with us. So, what should you advise in this scenario? I am quite confused about that because I have read about many articles that tattoos are removed without, leaving any scars, but it's not always possible. So I just want to know the consequences.
Okay. So in that case, yeah, actually, even I have read it. A few of my students, they got their tattoos removed for the interview, of course, and they, I mean, they didn't get any scar left or something because of the tattoo. So you can go for that. Okay. And yes, you should be able, if you get any scar, I mean, just in case, you should be able to hide it well with the help of makeup.
But ma'am, you yourself right now said that they might ask us to come without makeup. So what should I do after
Your
that
hand, you can,
situation?
they ask you to come without makeup on your face.
But I even talked to a person who is right now working in Emirates itself, and she told me that they even check other body parts which are visible in the uniform, like hands and legs and all that, to just make sure. And it's just random. It's out of nowhere. They do not notify us for anything like that, but it's a random check. So I just want to know that if it's a risky job, should I remove the tattoo, or what should I do? Because I'm quite confused regarding that. That's the most unfortunate thing, but I still want to consider this job because
Understand. See, the point is, if you really want to get into the job, all right, we had this kind of checks in Qatar also. So when I joined, when I went to Doha, there they asked me to show hand and legs, but not to fire me, but to come up with a solution. I have like my, if I talk about my legs, so the area under my knee, which is calf, right, that is pretty uneven. Okay, so I showed that, which I did not tell them in the interview because they didn't ask. Okay, so when I showed this to them, and she was like, it's fine, but whenever you'll be wearing stockings, make sure you just conceal it. And other people who come up with different scars, different marks, they came up with a solution for them. They have already paid a lot in your this thing, accommodation, your work visa, your RP, and they will just not call you to Dubai to check you again and to fire you, but to come up with the solution. It is not easy to hire a handful of people from different country, then call them to Dubai, give them accommodation, do their visa works and everything, resident permit, and then you're calling them, checking the grooming criteria, and then firing them. It's not going to be like that. If they want to fire you, they will do it right away in the interview itself. Okay, but once you get checked over there and they find any scar, they would come up with a solution in how can you hide it. All right.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for clearing that out.
Excuse me,
It's
ma'am.
very helpful.
One second. Yes, Vanshika, I'll come on to you. Just a moment. So when you go for the interview, just in case if you have any scar left after the tattoo removal, okay, that is the scenario we are talking about. If there's no scar, then you don't have to worry at all. Right, guys, understand one thing, that if your interview is amazing, if your skills are great, if you know how to communicate, if you know how to deal with passengers or customers, okay, then this scar marks will not come in your way. I have seen people with birthmarks on their neck or hand. They were working with Qatar. With me, I have seen it because they have excellent skills.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
With one girl from Britain, she's my friend. They even let go the height criteria, which is very, very, unlikely difficult for the airline to just neglect the height criteria. They hired her, she was 158, and with Qatar the height criteria is at least 160 centimeters because of her skills. Right. Okay, so
Thank you.
you're welcome. Now Lalita.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Kavita. Ma'am, I have one problem. My English is not good, so what can I do?
Sorry, what is not good?
My English is not good because I'm a Hindi medium student in 10th standard. So what can I do, ma'am?
The one thing you can do is just practice, because even to be eligible for the interview, to communicate in English fluently. Okay, so English is very important part of your recruitment. Very important part.
Yes, ma'am.
You can do by practicing.
Okay.
Shika, go ahead. I can see your hand in the chat box. Guys, you can see option of raise hand under reaction, because I won't be able to see the chat box. So yeah, Vanshika, go ahead.
First of all, good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, actually the thing is like, अगर हम international flights के लिए apply करते हैं from like Canada or something, right? So like हम direct international flights में जाएंगे ना, अगर हम इंडिया में रह के ट्राई करते हैं तो it will be time consuming. हमें पहले domestic के लिए करना पड़ेगा, then we have to crack the interviews and then we will go for that, right?
Hey, so what happened is, if you talk about international airlines like Qatar, Etihad, Gulf, Air Arabia, Emirates, they come to India to hire people. Right now, Qatar Airways is hiring in lot of states, cities of the country. Right. So
All
you
right.
give your interview over there, you will get hired in the international flights only. Right. You'll go to Doha. Your base will be Doha. You will be operating from there. Okay. So
Got it, ma'am.
yes, you can get any international, not any, but yes, a few airlines who conduct interview in India. You can get them. You can get on board with them in India itself. However, airlines like Air Canada or Qantas, these are few airlines who do not hire out of their own country,
I got it, ma'am.
right? And so do Air India. Air India, Vistara, Indigo, they don't hire people from abroad, right? If someone wants to get hired in these airlines, they need to come to India. They have to have resident permit. They have to have citizenship. Then only they can apply for our airlines, right?
All right, ma'am.
Like still we can apply for Middle Eastern Airlines, which, and even British Airways. They come to India, they hire Indians.
Ma'am, for the Qatar, the age criteria was 21, right?
Yes.
And ma'am, till the time we turn to 21, we can work for the domestic.
Right, you can work for domestic.
And ma'am, like, what's the salary difference between the domestic and international? Please, can you just say?
Sorry, what is what?
Ma'am, the salary difference between the international and the domestic one.
Yeah, it's a lot actually, because you're actually comparing the international market with Indian one, right? Though the salary with Indian airlines are pretty good. If you are living in India, the cost of living is, how the cost of living is in India, right? So you can easily manage with the salary you're getting over here, right? Similarly, international airlines, they have salary as per their market, as per their cost of living. But if you really want to compare with, it's like 50,000, 55,000 per month. If I talk about Qatar, it is like 1.5 lakhs per month.
So ma'am, like if I choose to be in Qatar after 21 years old, then till that time I can work for the domestic one, right?
Of course, you can.
Okay, I can, and it will be a plus point for me after being 21 and just cracking in that interview, right?
Should be again depend upon your skills over there. Okay, guys, let me tell you one incident. What happened with me when I appeared for Qatar? There were a lot of people, a lot experienced from Jet, 8-9 years experience got rejected. Okay, because of, I don't know, it's just not, of course they're experts already, they are with Jet Airways for past 8-9 years, but maybe because of overconfident, right? Maybe because of irrelevant answers, right? So it's very important that you maintain your skills throughout. Even if you get a lot of experience from any airline, just maintain your personality. Do not become overconfident, or just thinking that you are superior from other people who are freshers. Because when I went for Qatar, I went as a fresher. I did not show my experience of Vistara.
I get it now. I genuinely get it. Thank you so much for this one, ma'am.
Not a problem. So, yes, Ishika.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, Ishika, go ahead. Good evening.
Ma'am, I have a question regarding my height. Actually, I'm 5'1", and like I've seen many cabin crews like just like my height. According whenever I go to my home from Bangalore, so whenever I travel from there, Indigo, SpiceJet, or Go Air, I have seen all the cabin crews just in my hand, and they were wearing heels, and I was just wearing shoes. So I just saw, and I was like, can I still go for that interview if my height is just like roughly 5'2"? I think so.
If it is 5'2", then it is like 155 to 156 centimeters, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So yeah, you can apply for it. For Indigo,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think it is 157, which is required.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
with Vistara, it is 155, which is required. Right. So
Yeah,
you can
ma'am.
apply for it easily.
Ma'am, one more question. I have heard from somewhere like in SpiceJet is not hiring normal candidates. They are only hiring from Spice Star Academy. Is that true, or is just a rumor?
Yeah, it's just a rumor. I have friends working for SpiceJet, but they never got any training from SpiceJet Academy.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Who is it?
Just small question is there.
Okay, go ahead.
Ma'am, I just want to know when we got selected in an interview and our training has been started. So before that, is there any charges they are asking? Like I have heard that they ask for some charges which we need to pay to airlines, and then after completing our training, when we get our first salary, so our charges which we paid, they get return us with the salary. Is it like that?
Different airline, they have different provision when it comes to contract. Why? Yes, there are few airlines who charge some amount of money upfront before you start the training. Why? Because a lot of people, when they get hired, they just take the training and leave the job. And as you know, you will start getting paid from the first day itself. And they are spending a lot of money in your training, a lot of money. The 3 months that you're getting trained on, they're spending, I think, more than 1 lakh rupees on one candidate. Okay. So that is why they're asking for it. Now regarding refundable, like if it is going to be refunded or not, you need to check with the airline. If I talk about Indigo, they don't refund the money right away you clear the training. They refund the money after you you be in the company for at least 2 years.
Okay, which means the charges which we paid, it will not refund with every airline. It's not same.
It's not same. They may choose or may not to choose refund that amount to you. All right. However, you will start getting paid from the first day of training itself, and you can recover that amount, I think, within 2 months. The amount that will be paid, because you will be paying, because the amount which they're charging is more or less like 50,000.
Yeah, 50 and 55,000. And one more thing, I want, and in some airlines, I have heard that they want the candidate who knows the swimming, like swimmers they want.
Yes,
so
few
is
of
it
them.
safe if we don't know the swimming? So can we still apply?
Then you don't go for the airline who are asking for swimming as a mandatory requirement. Go for the airlines who are not asking swimming as a mandatory requirement.
Yeah, okay.
So check the key requirements. If they say swimming is mandatory, you know what to do. And if they don't say anything about swimming, however, they write us that should be, just a second.
Okay.
Should be able to go in water with life jacket. Means you should not be hydrophobic. Be able to at least go into the water. So check the criteria, please.
Understood. Sure. Thank you, ma'am. That's it.
Is it?
It's Upasna.
Yes, Upasna, go ahead.
What is the difference between the Airbus and the airline interviews?
See, Airbus is a manufacturer of the aircraft. Like airlines are airlines, like Vistara, Indigo, SpiceJet, Go Air, they are airlines. Airbus is the manufacturer of aircraft. Okay.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Who is it?
Ma'am, Sheetal here.
Yes, Sheetal.
Ma'am, as we know, there are so many airlines, and they may have asked different questions, or every airline asks similar questions. I just confused about that.
See, it's actually dependent on them what kind of question they want to ask. Okay, we're going to discuss about a lot of questions that can be asked to you in the advanced course, of course, and how to answer those. Now, these questions can be molded in different ways, but you should be able to analyze that this is the answer I should use, or this is the experience I should talk about. Okay.
Yes,
Questions are pretty much the same, can be rephrased in different words. Okay. Now your analysis skills should be able to, figure out what is being asked.
Yes, ma'am. And I have a question. I have second question that is there any book like where I get that questions?
Now, there's no such book, guys, which you can refer to. All right. And I don't know why you really want to get into this, book, because this is just, taking a lot of time of yours when you can just discuss all these questions with me.
Yes, okay. Because, ma'am, I think that if I go for an interview, I might stuck somewhere. Therefore, I want to just practice from that.
I understand. You can practice from that, but you will end up by hearting all those answers and go over there, which I know would make a mess.
Yes.
Right? So don't refer to such things, rather practice. When we discuss all the question and answers in the advanced course, we will conduct mock interviews. Okay, when you start or when you're practicing giving your answers, that would make you perfect. And not the book that you will refer to before you go for the interview, because trust me, you will mess up with the words over there, guys. Whenever we by heart something, it's not with you, with me as well. When I by heart something, if someone asked me to repeat the entire thing again, I would get stuck somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
So such thing can happen with you. If not, trust me, you will end up reading out the entire answer as a robot over there. You will forget how to communicate. Like, you will not be communicating. We don't call that interaction. You will start, blabbing everything out in a go, like you are reading something out of something in front of them. And that would sound very, very robotic over there.
Yes.
Has been asking about ground staff. Brinda, yes. Just one second. Let me answer Brinda, because she has been asking this question from, I don't know, it's been a while now. So, Brinda, yes, ground staff, if you talk about eligibility criteria, it's similar as a cabin crew, except for the height. Okay. So there's no such height criteria for ground staff. However, they can ask graduation as a minimum qualification. Okay. Still, whenever you join the airline as a ground staff, you will go through particular training for 2 months. Okay. They have to train you on their softwares and stuff, because what is the duty of ground staff, guys, is to check in passengers, to issue them the boarding card, to help passengers at arrivals, to help passengers in boarding, right? To get the documentation work done from customs and immigration department for the flight to take off. So all these things, just giving you the summary, right? All these things you will get trained on, but there is just no height criteria over there. And always check the key requirements. Sometimes they ask for minimum qualification is 10+2. Sometimes they ask for a graduate. Take it.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am?
Yes. One second. Please raise your hand, guys. Otherwise, I would not be able to figure out who is.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Who is it?
Shreya.
Yes, Shreya, go ahead.
Ma'am, as you told that education is needed as 12 plus, so there is any percentage that we need for it?
I have seen only Vistara, giving that in the eligibility criteria, which is 60%. But I haven't seen any other airline to ask for a minimum number of grades.
Okay. And can you tell me one of the best city in India for that process?
Interview?
Yeah.
Yes, see, I would not be able to comment on this. Your airline would. Whenever you will apply for Vistara, they will send you an invitation, and then you need to go, at a particular location, which will be mentioned by them only. So they conduct interview in every, like not every, but most of cities in India. But they may ask you to, let's say, sometimes come to Delhi to for the further process, because their headquarters is in Delhi, or sorry, in Gurgaon.
So we have to apply from Google Forms for it.
So actually, guys, what we're gonna do, people who will take the part in the advanced course, you will get added in the WhatsApp group that we have with BitClass. I have with BitClass, wherein I share all the vacancy with the link. So you can click over there, fill a form. Okay, if some airline asks you to just send an email for the application, so you can do that as well. I keep on sharing a lot of information in the group regarding the vacancy, how to apply for it. You guys can take my help anytime. Even our course is over regarding the application and interview stuff. We'll talk about it a little more in a while when Anushka will tell you a lot of information about advanced course, because we have been talking about it a lot, and we will give you all the information about it.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank you.
I just ask Kayur to ask her question because she has been raising her hand in the chat box. Yes, Kayur, go ahead.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am?
Yes, Kayur, go ahead.
Ma'am, how much weight and height we need in domestic airline of India?
See, Kayur, height is, I've already told you in the presentation, it is either 155 minimum, 155 centimeters.
Okay, ma'am. Height
Or 157. Weight, nobody put such weight requirement in the key weight eligibility in the key requirements. It's just that a person should not be obese, because obese person is not a healthy person, and they would not be, or he or she would not be able to conduct any safety related duties on board. Okay, so if you are a little bit like healthy, or if your weight is a little bit more than which is required, is absolutely fine. But obesity is something different. It's a health issue.
My weight is 44.
Right, I'm sure.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, you're underweight. It's okay. You don't have to put so much attention on the weight part. Okay, guys, as long as your skills are great, trust me, weight would not create any problem. Yes, health wise, you need to be well fit, because you have to conduct a lot of safety duties on board. Right?
Ma'am, BMI should be normal, I guess, right?
Yeah, BMI, sometimes they don't even look at the range. If it is not in that BMI range, they still hire people, right? Because just I think Indigo and sometimes Vistara, they ask you to be in a BMI range. Rest, none of the airline, especially Emirates, Qatar International, they don't care about it.
And ma'am, how would we be aware of that, like the Qatar and something is going to held their interviews after the domestic one and all?
See, always check your page of Qatar Airways. You need to keep an eye like regularly on it. All right. Or else, if you become the part of the advanced course, then I'm there to always send you the notifications on the vacancies.
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, and how can I join the course and all?
So that with in a while. So Anushka, it's already 7:08, so you can go ahead and tell them about the advanced course. And people who have your questions, please keep it with you. It will be answers. Don't worry.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Guys,
Hello.
you can ask your doubts in the chat box now, because I need some attention from you guys. So I will take just 2 minutes, okay? Not more than that. Okay, guys. Quick thumbs up in the chat box. I quickly, guys, I wanted to share also. I'll be disabling your mute option. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the chat box. Right? Hello, ma'am. Guys, be on mute first, please.
So this is the time of surprise, guys. So stay tuned.
Yes. So we already I have told you right about the surprise thing. Now it's time for surprise to reveal your the surprise. Okay, I'll quickly share my screen, but before sharing my screen, I wanted to know, guys, how many of you wanted to learn more something, more about the aviation? Can I get response in the chat box, please? Who wants to learn more? Okay, great. We are, we are getting so many responses. Great, guys. So before, proceeding further, okay, I'll be sharing my screen right now. Just a moment. Ma'am, just let me know if it is visible.
Yes, it is.
Great, guys. So, guys, in the aviation master class, we do have a master's class. Okay, so it will be, coming from 14th of February till 17th of Feb, Monday to Thursday. The timing will be 5 to 6 p.m. guys. So it can be extend like just 1 hour, sorry, half an hour over here and there, because ma'am will be addressing each one of you, your problems, your doubts. She will be guiding you. Also, it will be, it will be getting you a certificate after the completion of the master class, guys. You will be getting a certificate along with the mentorship. Okay, now what is mentorship, guys? If you stuck in between and you wanted to ask, like today, you have asked your problems, right? And ma'am has addressing your doubts like there and there, right? So if you stuck in life, so she will be guiding you throughout your life. So this is the mentorship we are providing you from the bit class. So ma'am will be guiding you throughout your life. Okay, so after the master's class, guys, you will be adding into the community group where the teacher's number is available, and also you can, share your questions, share your problems over there itself. Okay, so we do have the contents. Okay, just a moment, guys. Yeah, ma'am, can you explain the contents, what you're going to teach in the master class?
Sure. So, guys, we will just going to focus on the interview part. Okay, what comes next would be taken care of you by your airline. I've already explained that. People who have been asking about money in the training, I've already told you, yes, you will get paid from the day one itself once you join the airline. But this is not the thing you should be, like confused about or care about right now. You should care about just in how to crack the interview. Okay, that is the most crucial part right now. So, keeping that motive in mind, what we're gonna do is we have already created a course for you, okay, wherein we're gonna make you aware of the grooming and presentation, how to groom yourself for the interview, right? We're gonna highlight on 5-star customer service skills. You remember me saying when I was playing this presentation about qualities of cabin crew, how can they observe all these qualities in you is by giving you hypothetical situation and then you need to answer. It can be in the form of role play. So we will see how what customer service skills are. We will practice so that we should know what to answer over there, right? We'll talk about basic of travel and tourism, wherein I'll just show you a presentation. I have a module wherein we will learn about certain aviation vocabulary, very important. Okay, flight briefings and announcement is a part of your this thing, public speaking, that you should know